Right after the get, we got the invoice. Now guys, I bought this coral because I got it for a really good price, 20 frags for 300 bucks. So if you take a look at, you know, the cost per frag, you can see he did a nice job with the heated pads and the packaging. You know, it turns out after shipping and his cost, I would probably say shipping from Pennsylvania to Michigan, it's probably somewhere between $32 to $35 on the low end, and maybe $50 on the high end. But when you factor in the cost of these pads and, you know, the installation, I'll give the benefit of the doubt and say it's closer to 50 bucks. So if you do the math, you're looking at 20 frags at about $12.50 per frag. So let's open this up and see what we got. You know, it truly is a fabulous day in the hobby when you get a big box of coral with all these frags. And it looks like the packaging is done pretty good with heavy plastic. So I'm going to cut a few of these open and start the dipping process. Now, I use the advanced Bear dipping process as opposed to, you know, Coral RX or some of the other products out there. I just have better success with that. So I'm going to cut some of these frags open. I got a bucket right here, and we'll get started with dipping some of these coral. Now, I'm assuming a lot of these coral are going to be acros. Now, that looks to me like it's a green digi. I'm noticing already that there's not any labeling on any of these packages. So I'll go to the website maybe later on and see if there's like a key or something that tells me what is what. We'll see. Now look, guys, for $12.50, that's a pretty good size frag right there at $12.50 a frag. So let's take a measuring. So this one here is about 1.5 inches tall. And if you do a comparative, you can see that, you know, if I put a shot glass next to it, you know, that's a fairly decent size frag there. Same with this one. So this one's a little bit smaller, but to give you an idea what size frags that you're looking at. Here is another acro. Now, since I mentioned that, it looks like they're getting a little bit smaller. So let's see how big they are. But you know what? I really like to get coral that are on the small side anyways, because I like to watch them grow. And most of the time for experienced hobbyists, you're able to, you know, decipher what the coral are because, you know, being in the hobby so many years, you look at so many coral, I can almost tell what they are, what the genus is, what the street name is, and so on and so forth. So I'm not too worried about the labeling issue. I can tell you thus far that the buying experience from this company has been really good. So I'll rate this whole experience here in just a few minutes, but I want to give you an idea of what we're looking at. And I'm just dropping these plastic bags right in a bucket. Now guys, that is a nice size frag for $12.50. I don't know what it is, but like I say, once we see the polyp extension, we'll be able to determine what it is. And if there is no key, for lack of a better term, on the website. And if Fish of Hex, you ever see this video, it might be worth, you know, just putting maybe a black mark on it of some type or a black A, and then have a reference going back to your website to say what A is if you're not able to label. I don't know if there's a staff of people, maybe it's a resource issue, but it's always good to have, you know, what you're buying in the box. So these look really good. So I'm going to give you a quick view of the sizes. I've never seen a blue frag plug, but I think this company is also into 3D printing. So maybe that's a a frag plug from his collection. As I noticed, they are plastic. Now these are, so far, these are all Acropora. And this one looks like some kind of a tort. But they all look really good so far. This is a staghorn. And again, you know, at 12 feet, guys, you're not going to find frags just in these couple that I've looked at so far. So far, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm not even halfway through the box, and these are all really good sizes in these bags. So I'm not going to take up the video opening up each bag. But now here's one. I don't know what that is, but that's small. That's a small one. But you know, like I say, if you're into growing the coral like I am, and you want to place them when they're that small, that's one of the enjoyments of the hobby. Here's a little potato chip coral, a little pavona. Looks like just a green one. So far I'm pretty happy with the selection. It's always fun to have what's called, you know, in my opinion, some kind of a mystery pack. But yeah, the price of these coral so far, this looks like a Forest Fire Digi. And like I say, the packaging is pretty solid. Pretty solid. And it looks like the color is good. I don't have any, you know, filters on the phone in terms of color. But that's a nice purple colored Acropora. So far so good. Here's a, looks like a kind of a purple acro. So guys, I'm gonna get started with the dipping. So I wanted to throw these 4 coral in here to see. I like to splash them around a little bit. But that is a nice size frag for the cost per unit. Can't complain there. You're not gonna find that. I mean, I've actually bought coral from around the country from some of these big coral farms, and I'll tell you what, they are so disappointing sometimes. You know, you spend, I've spent $100 on a little tiny frag like this, and it's very disappointing because you get it in the mail and you open it up and it's nothing like what you saw on the website. You know, it's all photoshopped. I got a Walt Disney, I don't know, about a year ago, and boy, it was about this small, and it looked completely different. It was what you see is what you get on the website, and it was just, it's horrible. Now, it grew into a nice encrusting Acropora, but my Lord, you know, you could hardly see it on the frag plug. And so, you know, you want some substance to the coral. That's a nice looking frag there. But, you know, overall, so far, the buying experience for me, first time buying from these guys, has been good. I ordered last Wednesday, and they had a real quick response. It was automated. I got a quick email. And what's unique about these guys is they actually give you the updates via Facebook, which is really cool. I have never seen that before. Usually it's via text message or email. And so these guys have completely kept me in the loop ever since I placed the order.